In a courtroom where the air crackled with tension, a young attorney stood poised, ready to challenge the very foundations of a system designed to protect the vulnerable. With a keen intellect and an unwavering resolve, this child lawyer was not just another face in the legal arena. They were a beacon of hope for those who felt silenced. As the gavel struck and the proceedings began, the atmosphere shifted, leaving the seasoned judge momentarily speechless, a rare occurrence in the hallowed halls of justice. This was not merely a case, it was a pivotal moment that would resonate far beyond the courtroom walls. The setting was a bustling courthouse, its walls steeped in history and the echoes of countless stories. It was a late afternoon, the sun casting long shadows through the tall windows, illuminating the faces of those gathered. The stakes were high, not just for the parties involved, but for the principles of fairness and compassion that underpin the legal system. As the child lawyer presented their argument, a blend of passion and logic flowed seamlessly, captivating everyone present. The methodology employed was nothing short of brilliant. It combined meticulous research with an empathetic understanding of the child's plight, making the judge and jury reconsider their preconceived notions. As the narrative unfolded, it became clear that this was more than a legal battle. It was a fight against the indifference that often permeates the judicial process. The judge, known for their stern demeanor and unwavering adherence to protocol, found themselves grappling with emotions they had long buried. The child lawyer's approach, filled with poignant anecdotes and compelling evidence, painted a vivid picture of the injustices faced by young clients. It was a reminder that behind every case number lies a human story, deserving of attention and care. The impact of this moment was palpable, as murmurs of disbelief and admiration rippled through the courtroom, challenging the status quo. Yet, as the proceedings reached a crescendo, the judge's reaction took an unexpected turn. Rather than embracing the opportunity for reflection, they resorted to a response that left many feeling disgusted. The dismissal of the child lawyer's heartfelt plea for justice was not just a personal affront, it was a stark reminder of the barriers that still exist within the system. This moment, charged with both triumph and disappointment, underscored the ongoing struggle for equity in legal representation. It was a wake-up call, urging observers to recognize the urgent need for reform and empathy in a world that often prioritizes procedure over people. As the courtroom emptied, the weight of the day lingered in the air. The child lawyer, undeterred by the judge's reaction, emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. Their journey was far from over. It was a call to action for others to join the fight for those who cannot advocate for themselves. The significance of this encounter extended beyond the immediate case, igniting a spark of hope that change is possible. In a world where the voices of the vulnerable are often drowned out, this young attorney proved that brilliance, compassion, and tenacity can leave an indelible mark on the pursuit of justice. In a bustling courtroom filled with the murmurs of anxious families and the rustling of legal documents, a young attorney stood poised at the front. This was no ordinary lawyer. She was a prodigy, having earned her reputation through a series of impressive victories in child custody cases. Her passion for advocating for children's rights was palpable, and her approach combined fierce determination with a remarkable ability to connect with her young clients. As she prepared for the day's proceedings, the tension in the air was thick, each participant acutely aware of the stakes involved. The judge, a stern but fair figure with years of experience, sat at the bench, ready to oversee what was anticipated to be a contentious hearing. The case revolved around a custody battle that had captured the attention of the local community. The child at the center of the dispute, a bright-eyed 8-year-old, had become a symbol of hope for many who had followed the media coverage. The young attorney had spent countless hours preparing her arguments, meticulously gathering evidence and crafting her strategy to ensure the child's best interests were prioritized. As the hearing commenced, the judge's demeanor shifted from routine to intrigued, captivated by the attorney's passionate opening statement. It was evident that she had a unique ability to articulate the child's needs, painting a vivid picture of a life filled with love and stability that the child deserved. As the proceedings unfolded, the young attorney employed a blend of emotional appeal and logical reasoning that left the judge visibly impressed. Witnesses were called, and their testimonies reinforced the attorney's assertions. The courtroom was silent, save for the occasional rustle of paper and the soft sobs of family members. It was a moment that transcended the typical legal battle. It felt more like a heartfelt plea for justice. With each argument, the attorney showcased her brilliance, effortlessly weaving facts with emotion, creating a narrative that resonated deeply with everyone present. The judge, who had seen countless cases over the years, found himself momentarily speechless, caught off guard by the attorney's exceptional skill. However, the atmosphere shifted dramatically when the opposing counsel took the floor. With a dismissive tone, he attempted to undermine the young attorney's arguments, resorting to tactics that felt disingenuous. The judge, once impressed, began to show signs of frustration at the opposing counsel's lack of respect for the proceedings. In a surprising turn, the judge interjected, challenging the opposing lawyer's approach and emphasizing the importance of focusing on the child's well-being rather than engaging in personal attacks. This unexpected moment of support for the young attorney left her feeling a mix of gratitude and disbelief. Yet, as the hearing drew to a close, the judge's final remarks took a different turn. In a moment that would haunt the young attorney, the judge made a decision that seemed to prioritize procedural norms over the well-being of the child. The ruling left the courtroom in stunned silence, and the young attorney felt a wave of disgust wash over her. It was a stark reminder of the complexities of the legal system, where the ideals of justice often clashed with the harsh realities of decision-making. As she walked out of the courtroom, the weight of the day settled heavily on her shoulders, igniting a renewed fire within her to continue fighting for those who could not fight for themselves. Join us on this exciting journey of growth and discovery. By subscribing, you'll gain access to exclusive insights, tips, and a vibrant community eager to support your aspirations. Your voice matters. Share your thoughts in the comments and connect with like-minded individuals who inspire and uplift each other. Together, we can unlock new opportunities and achieve greatness. Don't miss out. Take the leap and become part of something extraordinary today. In a small courtroom buzzing with anticipation, the atmosphere shifted dramatically as the young child lawyer stood before the judge, ready to present a case that would not only challenge the norms of the legal system, but also redefine the role of youth in advocacy. This was no ordinary child. Their sharp intellect and unwavering confidence had already earned them the respect of their peers and mentors. As they began to articulate their arguments, the judge, known for their stern demeanor and unyielding approach, found themselves momentarily taken aback. The child's ability to dissect complex legal principles and present them in a manner that resonated with both the court and the audience was nothing short of extraordinary. It was a moment that highlighted the potential of young advocates to influence significant outcomes, proving that age does not equate to capability. However, the significance of this encounter extended beyond the courtroom theatrics. The judge's reaction, a mix of surprise and discomfort, revealed a deeper issue within the judicial system: the inherent biases that often accompany traditional views of authority and expertise. The child lawyer's brilliance illuminated the fact that many legal professionals overlook the invaluable perspectives that youth can bring to the table. This moment was not just about a child impressing a judge. It was a clarion call for a re-evaluation of how society perceives competence and authority in legal matters. The judge's initial respect quickly turned to an unsettling dismissal, leaving the child feeling disheartened and disgusted. As the proceedings continued, the child lawyer faced an uphill battle. They had not only to defend their position, but also to combat the subtle undercurrents of ageism that permeated the courtroom. The judge, perhaps out of a desire to maintain control or uphold traditional hierarchies, began to undermine the child's contributions, questioning their understanding and experience. This dynamic created a palpable tension as the child's eloquence clashed with the judge's rigid expectations. It became evident that the real struggle was not merely about winning the case, but about challenging the perceptions that often limit young voices in critical discussions. The child's resolve, however, did not waver. They remained steadfast in their belief that their insights were valid and necessary. This courtroom drama serves as a microcosm of a larger societal issue, one that resonates with anyone who has ever felt marginalized or dismissed due to their age or experience. It underscores the importance of inclusivity in all areas of decision-making, particularly in fields like law, where the stakes are high and the implications far-reaching. The child lawyer's experience is a reminder that wisdom can come from unexpected places, and that fostering an environment where diverse voices are heard can lead to richer, more equitable outcomes. As the case unfolded, it became clear that the child lawyer was not just advocating for their client. They were advocating for a shift in perspective that could empower future generations. Their courage to stand up against the judge's dismissive attitude sparked a dialogue about the value of youth in advocacy, urging all present to reconsider what it means to be an expert. In doing so, they left an indelible mark on the courtroom and, perhaps more importantly, on the hearts and minds of those who witnessed this pivotal moment in legal history. In a bustling courtroom in a small town, a child sat nervously on the witness stand. The air was thick with tension as the judge prepared to hear the testimony of a young girl who had been through a harrowing experience. As she recounted her story of neglect and abuse, a seasoned child lawyer, known for her innovative approach and deep understanding of child psychology, stepped in with a series of probing questions. The judge, initially skeptical of the lawyer's unconventional methods, found himself speechless as the child's narrative unfolded. The courtroom, filled with legal professionals and observers, was suddenly gripped by the stark reality of how vulnerable children can be within the justice system. This moment highlighted an urgent need for reform in child advocacy, underscoring the critical importance of understanding the complexities involved in child law. Recent statistics reveal a troubling trend. Nearly 700,000 children in the United States are confirmed victims of abuse and neglect each year, with many cases falling through the cracks of a system that often fails to prioritize their voices. The courtroom incident illustrated a profound knowledge gap regarding the effective representation of minors in legal proceedings. While the child lawyer's brilliance shone through in that moment, it also exposed the inadequacies in training and resources available to legal professionals who work with children. Many judges and attorneys lack the specialized knowledge required to navigate the sensitive dynamics of child testimony, which can lead to further trauma for the young witnesses. This gap not only affects the outcomes of individual cases, but also perpetuates a cycle of injustice that leaves countless children unheard and unprotected. As the case progressed, it became increasingly clear that the emotional and psychological well-being of child witnesses is often overlooked. The judge's reaction, a mix of shock and discomfort, served as a catalyst for a broader conversation about the need for specialized training in child law. It was evident that understanding the unique needs of children in legal settings is not merely an academic exercise, it is a moral imperative. The lawyer's ability to connect with the child and draw out her story demonstrated the profound impact that a knowledgeable advocate can have, yet this expertise is not universally available. The incident prompted a wave of discussions among legal professionals about the necessity of integrating child psychology into legal training programs, ensuring that future advocates are equipped to handle these delicate situations with the care they require. The urgency of this issue cannot be overstated. As communities grapple with the rising number of child abuse cases, the legal system must adapt to better serve the most vulnerable among us. The courtroom incident underscored a pivotal moment in the ongoing struggle for child advocacy, highlighting the critical need for reform in how children are represented in legal proceedings. With the right knowledge and tools, legal professionals can transform the courtroom experience for young witnesses, ensuring that their voices are not only heard, but also respected and validated. This is a call to action for all stakeholders involved in child welfare, emphasizing that understanding and reforming child law is not just a legal necessity, but a societal responsibility. In a courtroom where the stakes are high and emotions run deep, a child lawyer stands out, not just for their legal prowess, but for their extraordinary ability to connect with the young clients they represent. This particular case had garnered attention not only for its complexity but also for the sheer brilliance displayed by the young attorney. As the proceedings unfolded, the lawyer presented a compelling argument that left the presiding judge momentarily speechless, a rare occurrence in the often staid environment of family court. The weight of the case rested heavily on the shoulders of this child lawyer, who had become a beacon of hope for a vulnerable client navigating the tumultuous waters of family law. The case revolved around a custody battle that was anything but straightforward. It involved allegations of neglect and emotional distress, issues that required not only legal acumen, but also an understanding of the psychological ramifications for the child involved. As the lawyer laid out the facts, it became evident that they had meticulously crafted their strategy, utilizing not just legal precedents, but also psychological insights that resonated deeply with the judge. The courtroom atmosphere shifted palpably as the lawyer articulated the child's needs, emphasizing the importance of a stable environment and the detrimental effects of prolonged court battles on young minds. The judge's initial silence spoke volumes. It was a moment of realization that the child's voice, often drowned out in legal jargon and adult disputes, had been powerfully amplified. This moment underscored a critical truth in family law: the necessity of prioritizing the best interests of the child. In a system where the complexities of adult relationships often overshadow the needs of the young, this lawyer's approach was a refreshing reminder of the core principles that should guide such proceedings. It became clear that the judge was grappling with the implications of the arguments presented, recognizing that the outcome would not only affect the parties involved, but also shape the future of a child's life. However, the courtroom drama took an unsettling turn. After the lawyer's compelling presentation, the judge's subsequent actions left many in the room feeling a sense of disgust. Rather than acknowledging the weight of the arguments made, the judge appeared dismissive, opting to focus on procedural matters rather than the emotional and psychological implications of the case. This reaction illustrated a troubling aspect of the judicial system, where the humanity of the individuals involved can sometimes be overshadowed by rigid adherence to protocol. The disconnect between the judge's response and the heartfelt plea for justice sparked outrage among observers, highlighting the need for sensitivity and compassion in family law. As the proceedings continued, the child lawyer remained undeterred, channeling their frustration into a renewed determination to advocate for their client. This resilience served as a powerful lesson in the importance of unwavering commitment to one's principles, particularly in the face of systemic shortcomings. The lawyer's ability to maintain focus on the child's needs, despite the judge's disheartening response, resonated with many in the courtroom, reinforcing the notion that true advocacy transcends mere legal arguments. In the aftermath of the hearing, discussions emerged about the role of judges in family law cases, emphasizing the necessity for them to engage empathetically with the emotional realities of the families before them. The incident not only sparked conversations about judicial accountability, but also ignited a movement towards reforming how family courts handle cases involving children. Ultimately, this case became a pivotal moment in advocating for a more compassionate approach to child law, ensuring that the voices of the most vulnerable are not only heard, but also respected. In a courtroom filled with tension, a child lawyer stood up to present a case that would leave the judge momentarily speechless. This young advocate, armed with a profound understanding of child rights and a unique ability to communicate with both the court and their client, demonstrated how a well-prepared argument can shift the dynamics of a legal proceeding. The methodology employed involved a careful blend of empathy, strategic questioning, and an unwavering commitment to the child's best interests. The first step in this approach was rigorous preparation. The lawyer spent hours interviewing the child, creating a safe space for them to express their feelings and concerns. This not only built trust, but also allowed the lawyer to gather critical insights into the child's perspective. For instance, during one session, the child revealed their fears about returning to an unstable home environment. This information became pivotal in framing the argument for custody. The lawyer then meticulously crafted a narrative that highlighted the child's emotional needs, ensuring that the judge understood the stakes involved. In the courtroom, the lawyer utilized effective communication techniques that resonated with both the judge and the jury. By employing storytelling, they transformed complex legal jargon into relatable scenarios. For example, instead of simply stating that the child was at risk, the lawyer painted a vivid picture of the child's daily life, illustrating the emotional turmoil and fear they experienced. This method not only engaged the court, but also evoked empathy, making it difficult for the judge to dismiss the child's situation. Moreover, the lawyer's ability to ask strategic questions played a crucial role in the case. By guiding the judge through a series of thought-provoking inquiries, the lawyer led them to a deeper understanding of the implications of their decisions. For instance, asking, "What kind of future do we envision for this child if they return to an unstable environment?" This approach not only showcased the lawyer's expertise, but also subtly influenced the judge's perspective. The impact of this methodology was evident in the courtroom dynamics. As the lawyer articulated their case, the judge's initial skepticism transformed into contemplation. The courtroom atmosphere shifted. What began as a formal proceeding evolved into a space of genuine concern for the child's welfare. This transformation illustrates how effective advocacy can create a ripple effect, influencing not only the outcome of the case, but also the attitudes of those involved. Following the trial, the lawyer took actionable steps to ensure the child's needs continued to be addressed. They connected the family with support services, including counseling and educational resources, to facilitate a smoother transition. This proactive approach reinforced the lawyer's commitment to the child's well-being beyond the courtroom, exemplifying how legal professionals can make a lasting impact. In summary, the child lawyer's success lay in their ability to blend empathy with strategic legal practices. By preparing thoroughly, communicating effectively, and influencing the courtroom dynamics, they not only left the judge speechless, but also set a precedent for how child advocacy should be approached. This case serves as a reminder that the heart of law is not just about statutes, but about understanding and championing the vulnerable voices that often go unheard. In a courtroom where emotions run high and stakes are even higher, the narrative of a child lawyer who left a judge speechless unfolds like a gripping drama. This scenario, while seemingly extraordinary, reflects a deeper reality about the legal system's treatment of vulnerable populations, particularly children. The courtroom is not merely a venue for legal proceedings. It is a stage where the lives of young individuals hang in the balance. The child lawyer, equipped with an innate understanding of both legal nuances and the psychological landscape of childhood, navigates this complex environment with a finesse that astounds all present. This lawyer's ability to articulate the unspoken fears and hopes of their young client is not just an impressive display of legal acumen, but a testament to the transformative power of empathy in legal practice. Expert opinions suggest that the most effective child advocates possess a unique blend of skills that go beyond traditional legal training. They must be adept at understanding child psychology, recognizing that the language of children often diverges from that of adults. By employing techniques such as active listening, they can create a safe space for children to express their feelings and experiences. This approach not only empowers the child, but also equips the lawyer with the vital information needed to advocate effectively. In this particular case, the child lawyer's strategic use of storytelling, framing the child's experiences in a relatable narrative, captured the judge's attention, leading to a moment of profound silence as the weight of the child's plight resonated throughout the courtroom. Such moments highlight the necessity for legal professionals to cultivate emotional intelligence alongside their legal expertise, enabling them to connect with judges and juries on a human level. However, the courtroom experience can also reveal unsettling truths about the judicial process. The judge's reaction, while initially one of awe, soon morphed into discomfort, reflecting a systemic issue that often leaves advocates and clients feeling disillusioned. The emotional toll on both the child and the lawyer can be significant, particularly when the system appears indifferent to the nuances of childhood trauma. This disillusionment underscores the need for reform within child welfare laws and judicial practices. Advocates argue for a more holistic approach that considers the psychological well-being of children involved in legal disputes. By integrating mental health professionals into the legal process, the system can better address the complexities of a child's emotional landscape, ensuring that their voices are not only heard, but valued. Ultimately, the journey of the child lawyer serves as a microcosm of the broader challenges faced by advocates in the legal system. As they strive to balance the scales of justice for their young clients, they are often confronted with the stark realities of a system that can sometimes feel dispassionate. Yet, it is through the lens of empathy, innovative strategies, and a commitment to reform that these advocates can inspire change. The courtroom may have its rules and protocols, but at its heart lies the undeniable truth that every child deserves a voice, and every lawyer has the potential to be that voice, transforming not just individual lives, but the very fabric of the legal system itself. In the complex realm of family law, the role of a child lawyer can be pivotal, often making a profound impact on the lives of young clients. The case in question highlights the extraordinary capabilities of a child lawyer who managed to leave a judge speechless during a critical hearing. This situation underscores not only the lawyer's skill, but also the broader implications of how legal representation can influence judicial outcomes. Research indicates that effective legal advocacy, particularly in child welfare cases, can significantly alter the trajectory of a child's life, as evidenced by numerous studies on the importance of representation in family court. A study published in the Journal of Family Law reveals that children who are represented by qualified attorneys are more likely to have their voices heard in court. These lawyers advocate for the best interests of the child, ensuring that their needs and perspectives are prioritized. In this case, the child lawyer's exceptional ability to articulate the child's wishes and concerns not only captivated the judge, but also highlighted the importance of having a knowledgeable advocate in emotional and complex situations. The lawyer's approach likely drew on techniques that have been shown to be effective in similar cases, such as the use of clear, age-appropriate language and the establishment of a rapport with the child. Moreover, the emotional weight of family court proceedings can be overwhelming for children. Research conducted by the American Psychological Association emphasizes the psychological toll that such experiences can have on young individuals. The presence of a competent lawyer can mitigate some of this stress by providing a sense of security and support. In this instance, the lawyer's adept handling of the case not only showcased their legal acumen, but also demonstrated an understanding of the emotional landscape that children navigate during such proceedings. By fostering a safe environment for the child to express themselves, the lawyer empowered them in a way that resonated with the court. The judge's reaction, being left speechless, speaks volumes about the effectiveness of the lawyer's presentation. Judges are trained to assess not only the legal arguments, but also the emotional and psychological implications of the cases before them. A report from the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges highlights that judges often rely on the insights provided by attorneys to make informed decisions that affect the lives of children. When a lawyer presents a case with clarity and conviction, it can lead to a more favorable outcome for the child involved. However, the experience of feeling disgusted by the judge's actions following this impressive display raises critical questions about judicial conduct and accountability. Instances of perceived bias or insensitivity in family courts have been documented, with various advocacy groups calling for reforms to ensure that children's rights are upheld. The juxtaposition of the lawyer's brilliance against the judge's response illustrates a troubling dynamic that can occur within the legal system, where the best interests of the child may not always align with judicial decisions. Ultimately, this narrative serves as a reminder of the vital role that child lawyers play in advocating for young clients. Their ability to communicate effectively and connect with both their clients and the court can lead to significant outcomes. The juxtaposition of a brilliant legal argument against a disappointing judicial response highlights the ongoing challenges within the family law system and the need for continued advocacy and reform to prioritize the welfare of children. In the gripping analysis of the courtroom dynamics, the narrative centers around a child lawyer whose exceptional skills left the presiding judge momentarily speechless. This moment of silence highlighted not only the lawyer's brilliance, but also the stark contrast between legal expertise and the emotional weight of child welfare cases. The child lawyer's ability to articulate complex legal arguments with clarity and conviction showcased a profound understanding of both the law and the delicate nuances involved in representing vulnerable clients. This performance illuminated the often overlooked challenges faced by young individuals in legal battles, emphasizing the need for advocates who can navigate these complexities with empathy and skill. However, the courtroom encounter took a disheartening turn as the judge's subsequent actions sparked feelings of disgust and disappointment. Rather than fostering an environment of support and understanding, the judge's behavior seemed dismissive, undermining the gravity of the situation at hand. This juxtaposition between the lawyer's commendable efforts and the judge's lack of sensitivity served as a poignant reminder of the systemic issues that can arise within the legal framework, particularly in cases involving children. The emotional toll on those involved, especially the children, was palpable, raising critical questions about the responsibilities of legal professionals and the judicial system in safeguarding the rights and well-being of minors. As the analysis unfolded, it became evident that the courtroom is not merely a battleground for legal arguments, but a space where human lives are profoundly affected. The child lawyer's passionate advocacy contrasted sharply with the judge's insensitivity, revealing a need for greater awareness and compassion in legal proceedings. This situation underscored the importance of having legal representatives who not only possess the requisite knowledge, but also the emotional intelligence to advocate effectively for their clients. The implications of this case extend beyond the individuals involved, prompting a broader discussion about the role of judges and attorneys in fostering a legal environment that prioritizes the welfare of children. In reflecting on these events, the audience is left to consider the broader implications of the courtroom dynamics presented. The child lawyer's brilliance shone a light on the potential for positive change within the legal system, while the judge's actions served as a cautionary tale of what can happen when empathy is overshadowed by authority. This narrative invites contemplation of how legal professionals can better serve their clients, particularly the most vulnerable, by advocating for reforms that ensure sensitivity and understanding are integral to the judicial process. As we approach the final resolution, the insights gleaned from this analysis resonate deeply, urging a collective re-evaluation of the practices and attitudes that govern the legal system. The hope is that through this reflection, a path forward can be forged, one that champions the rights and dignity of children in legal proceedings, fostering an environment where their voices are heard, respected, and prioritized. In doing so, the legal community can strive to create a more just and compassionate system, ensuring that no child is left feeling marginalized or unheard in the pursuit of justice. In the recent courtroom drama, a child lawyer showcased an extraordinary ability to articulate the needs and rights of their young client, leaving the presiding judge visibly taken aback. This incident not only highlighted the profound impact that skilled legal representation can have on vulnerable children, but also cast a spotlight on the systemic issues within the family court system that can lead to feelings of disgust and frustration among those seeking justice. The emotional weight of the situation resonated deeply, revealing the urgent need for reform and advocacy in child law. To effectively address the challenges faced by children in legal proceedings, it is crucial to implement a multifaceted strategy that prioritizes education, advocacy, and systemic reform. First, enhancing training programs for child lawyers can ensure they are equipped with the latest knowledge on child psychology and legal rights. Workshops and seminars can be organized to foster collaboration among legal professionals, social workers, and child advocates. By creating a network of informed practitioners, we can ensure that children receive the best possible representation. Moreover, establishing mentorship programs that connect experienced lawyers with newcomers can facilitate the sharing of best practices and innovative strategies. Advocacy plays a pivotal role in bringing about change. Engaging with community organizations and stakeholders can amplify the voices of children and their families, ensuring their experiences are heard and valued. Campaigns to raise public awareness about the challenges faced in family court can mobilize community support and encourage policymakers to take action. By sharing stories and testimonials from those affected, we can humanize the issues and inspire a collective response aimed at reforming outdated practices. Additionally, lobbying for policy changes that prioritize the welfare of children in legal contexts is essential. This includes advocating for the implementation of child-friendly court procedures that minimize trauma and promote a more supportive environment. The expected outcomes of these strategies are profound. By investing in the education of child lawyers and fostering a collaborative legal community, we can enhance the quality of representation for children, ensuring that their voices are not only heard, but prioritized in legal proceedings. Advocacy efforts will lead to increased public awareness, ultimately influencing policymakers to enact necessary reforms that protect the rights and well-being of children. Furthermore, the establishment of child-friendly court procedures will create a more compassionate atmosphere, reducing the emotional toll on young clients and their families. In conclusion, the courtroom incident serves as a powerful reminder of the critical need for reform in child law. By focusing on education, advocacy, and systemic change, we can create an environment where children feel safe and supported in legal matters. It is imperative that we take immediate action, whether by participating in training programs, joining advocacy groups, or reaching out to lawmakers, so that we can collectively work towards a justice system that truly serves the best interests of children. Let us not allow the disgust felt in the courtroom to be in vain. Instead, let it fuel our determination to create meaningful change for the future. In the courtroom drama that unfolded, the interplay between the child lawyer's exceptional skills and the judge's unexpected response created a poignant narrative that transcended mere legal proceedings. The child lawyer, equipped with a remarkable understanding of the law and an innate ability to connect with the young client, showcased not just legal acumen, but a deep sense of empathy. This situation illuminated the critical role that advocates play in the lives of vulnerable individuals, particularly children navigating complex legal landscapes. The judge's reaction, marked by a blend of astonishment and ultimately disappointment, served as a stark reminder of the systemic challenges that can overshadow the pursuit of justice. The emotional weight of the moment resonated throughout the courtroom, revealing the often unspoken struggles faced by those who find themselves at the mercy of legal systems that can sometimes feel indifferent to their plight. As the narrative unfolded, it became evident that the essence of the encounter was not merely about a legal victory or defeat, but rather about the human connections forged in the face of adversity. The child lawyer's ability to articulate the child's needs and fears, coupled with a genuine desire to advocate for their best interests, highlighted the profound impact that effective representation can have. The judge's reaction, though initially one of disbelief, ultimately underscored the importance of recognizing the humanity within legal proceedings. It beckoned a call for reflection on the responsibilities of those within the judicial system to approach each case with compassion and understanding, acknowledging that behind every legal matter lies a story waiting to be told. This moment served as a catalyst for considering how the legal profession can evolve to better serve those it aims to protect, particularly the most vulnerable among us. In reflecting on this compelling scenario, one is reminded that the pursuit of justice is not merely a procedural endeavor, but a deeply human experience. It calls for a commitment to understanding the narratives that shape individual lives and the courage to advocate for those who may not have a voice. The child lawyer's brilliance illuminated a path toward a more empathetic legal practice, one that prioritizes the dignity and worth of every individual. As we consider the implications of this encounter, it inspires a collective responsibility to foster an environment where compassion and advocacy intersect, ensuring that every child, regardless of their circumstances, is afforded the respect and understanding they deserve. Ultimately, the lessons gleaned from this courtroom exchange resonate far beyond its walls, urging us all to champion the cause of justice with both our minds and our hearts, striving for a world where every voice is heard and valued.